I talk to a spirit. She comes in my dreams.
What is the path to awakening supposed to look like, to feel like? How do you know if you are on it? We ask these very sacred and sometimes vulnerable questions to many different women from all walks of life. A conversation that needs to be shared and heard. I'm Jo Hendy.
I'm Amanda Parker.
And welcome to the Girl Awakening podcast.
Good morning, lovely. Good. Sprung that on you, didn't I?
Hello, gorgeous.
Feeling it this morning.
Oh, yeah, we're feeling the feels and going there anyway.
Yeah, we are. We
are.
are.
Yeah.
Welcome to Girl Awakening, to our beautiful listeners. We have we call these
remembering series, isn't it? Or what?
No. It's like our oh shit. You know when you what do you what you champion? Our champion.
Yes.
Champion.
Ambassador.
Yes.
It's like a champion.
Champion Girl Awakening.
Yes. I get what you're saying.
Yes, girl. That's with us.
An elite.
The elite series.
Yes. And you can tell that we've kind of like got a lot that's ready to come forward because we're like just the words are just swirling around all over the place. So
and also too, for me personally, it's like some people that we've had on swirl around you forever.
Yeah.
They're just swirling in your space. You can feel them, that you know they're there. And Blake's been one of those. So she just is there. I can feel you in the space all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's so beautiful.
That's actually really a very beautiful thing to share because this beautiful woman's energy does. It's very potent and it does. Yeah, you can feel the blessings of the work that she does and where she's sharing her
where she's going, where she's moving. It's like she's pulling most of us or all of us or whoever wishes to go with them into that beautiful space. So welcome, Blake Haver. We love you.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. You made me get a teary eye.
It's so true. It's so true. It's so easy to be around you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. I feel that too. I feel that energy and not connections to like every single person you encounter, but definitely with some more drawn to than others. And you guys especially, I love watching you guys and who you have on and listening to your podcast and your energy in your lives. I love it. I love watching it evolve and grow. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thread too, just on exactly what we're just talking about. It's like there's no kind of sitting still, you know, for too long these days. I think that's what we're feeling. And it's about like not anchoring yourself into anything, although we were talking about anchoring this morning.
But that was a different kind of anchor. That was a grounding for us.
Yeah. There's no like holding yourself in one space anymore. And it's about moving. Everything's moving so quickly. And it's like who's coming with you? And it's not about asking or telling or whatever. It's just like who's coming. And you can feel the people that are coming with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The energy, the shifts, consciousness rising, everything. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, but there's lots of things happening all at once.
Yes, and the I guess the point of difference is really not looking for love in all the wrong places. It's like really not feeling the love within and allowing that to guide you in that leap of faith, that holding the faith, being in trust, stepping forward.
Absolutely.
As opposed to that the sense of like might not see where we're moving forward to yet.
Doesn't matter.
It's all up now. This lady can, though. This is part of where we're going to go today. We've got some exciting things to talk about with Blake because I think you were just in our early parts of our second year maybe with the podcast, and then you were so beautiful where you shared the sound bowls on our special Christmas release, like maybe the summit. Yes. Yeah. And so, you've been journeying with us along the way in lots of ways, but you've also been a very busy starlight in the things that you've been doing with your QHHT and moving into different areas yourself. Like, would you like to just give like a little update on where you've been journeying?
Yeah, sure. So I'm still obviously based in my clinic in Merimbula. I still see one-on-one clients for QHHT and clinical hypnosis also still continue doing sound healing. I offer that once a month in my clinic. I work in another space in a next suburb called Pambula, where I do a salt therapy session. So it's in a salt room. I'm just doing a crystal healing chakra bowl alignment.
Just off.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
It's really great because it's combining both the therapies. So that's really great for them. And it's a different environment to what I do in my clinic. They're sitting in a little recliner having beautiful salt emitted around the air, and I'm doing the sound. It's beautiful. And I get the benefit of the salt as well.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And yeah, I've just been doing what I've done for several years, like now, like I'm in my 7th year of doing this work, and just constantly like evolving and growing and learning, like through my clients and also through me, like, and tapping into stuff, like you say, that we do know in our heart to be true and follow, even if we don't know what we're following or where we're going. Yeah. But trusting that little message inside us of little nudges, whether they're really quiet or really loud. Doing stuff like, obviously I meditate every day, otherwise I really don't feel in tune with myself or my intuition or my higher self. But I've expanded on that recently by like really tapping in. So I think last time we were talking a lot about QHHT, and I'd had a session, which was a couple of years ago now. I think it was in like 2023 or something, our last one. But I actually had another session in April. So my husband gifted me one again, like that little weekend away. So they were about 2 years apart, and I had a session, and in that I had lots of questions, obviously. Yeah. Because over the years I've been shown little snippets and guidance of something I'm supposed to be doing, which I listen to the messages and I get it, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I can't see myself doing that. But then every time I get shown something more, I go, oh, actually, I can do that. I will do that, but I just don't know exactly when. But in that as well, I was really drawn to go on a retreat to Bali. And I asked whether I should or I shouldn't, because I hadn't completely decided yet. And in the session, when speaking with my higher self, it clearly said, yes, you need to go. There was also some people I was supposed to meet on that trip. They didn't guide me who they were, but they said, you will just know. And I said, okay, I trust that. I just got goosebumps saying that then. Really big ones. They said you're supposed to go on this trip. Something will happen on that trip, which everything will make sense to you. And I said, okay, sure. And I trust that because it hasn't guided me wrong when I actually listen. And I only goes wrong when I don't listen. So I ended up booking the trip, and there were 2 retreats. One was a Psychic Mediumship retreat, which I booked and I got a spot, and amazing. So excited. But there was a wait list for another trip, which is a Star Being Connection retreat. And I went onto a wait list, and I emailed them and said, oh, how many spaces are on the retreat? Like, should I bother going on the wait list? And she said, oh, there's a lot of people on the wait list. You might not get a spot because it's like a small retreat. But go on it, because when we offer the wait list, it's a first in, best dressed basis. So you could just happen to get it. You know, you never know. And something in me and my husband also said, you're definitely going to go on the Star Being retreat. I keep getting goosebumps now, like really big. And I was like, oh, just go on the list. I booked my flights as though I'm going on both retreats. Unreal. So I just thought, whatever, I'll just wing it. If I don't go on that, I'll go book somewhere cheap and stay somewhere nice and relax for a few days to integrate everything. But sure enough, I was on my computer one night a few weeks after that, really late, which is unusual. I'm not usually on my computer late at night. But a link popped up that said, 1 space has become available, click now to book. And so I did it. I just got goosebumps so big. I didn't even ask my husband or anything or say anything. I just was like, I'm going. Yeah. And so I booked it, and I woke up in the morning and I thought, did I dream this? And I looked at the link and I said to my husband, can you read that? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, oh, did you book it? And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, awesome. I knew you were going to go. And I went, oh, I'm email to make sure I'm not imagining all of this. And I did it. I got the spot. So I must have been the first person to see the link. And so I was obviously meant to go on that retreat. Both retreats were absolutely amazing. Like, I learned and expanded so much on the first one, which was a beautiful retreat in Ubud. It was facilitated by 4 world-renowned psychic mediums. I I went because it was open to you if you're just interested, or if you're a fully advanced psychic medium. It was open to anyone that is interested in this, and I thought, oh, well, I am.
Yeah.
And for some reason I was really drawn to go, not thinking, I'm going to be able to do it, but I want to expand. I love learning stuff and, tapping into everything. And the only reason I saw this retreat was a client had gone on this retreat last year, which was the first annual retreat that this group had offered. There were 2 facilitators at that time, and they had such a great experience. They decided to add in 2 more of their colleagues and friends and host with 4, but make the retreat a little bit more expansive. And it ended up being 100 psychic mediums from around the world booked. And we all got divided up with, based on your level of experience or skill set, or what they were obviously intuitively drawn to put you in a group.
Yeah.
So each got put with a teacher or mentor for the time. And we did workshops individually in our little groups. There was 25 in each group. And we did also big workshops where there was 100 of us, with all of the teachers. So we were constantly learning from different people and also ourselves. So we'd partner up with other people in our group, all different levels. There were obviously some psychic mediums that do the work that were there. So they were in a more different kind of workshop than I was. I was sort of in the medium one. So I know that I can do stuff, but don't know how to do it and didn't really trust in my own abilities. So I got put with Sean, which is who I wanted to be with, and I got to be with him. And
of course.
Yeah, I knew. And I met some really beautiful, beautiful like-minded souls through this as well, from all around the world. So there were a lot of people from Australia there. There were people from South America, Canada, the UK. There was everywhere, Spain, everything, all different levels, all different capacities, all different backgrounds. Some people just were there to experience it, and some people were there to learn and activate and grow. I had the most beautiful time. I didn't have to think about anything. Literally got picked up at the airport. I got told what to do every day and got fed. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I just had to make sure I was at the things on time. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. It was like a relaxing, busy experience, but so activating and expansive. Yeah. I didn't care that we were going to a workshop all day. It was tiring, but energetically exciting at the same time. So it also, because you were surrounded by all that energy and magic, it lifted you up. Yes. And I loved it. They took us on excursions to the pyramids of Chi, and they took us to beautiful rice fields and sacred temples. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and very, very expansive. And also made me realize, of course I know how to do all of this stuff. Yeah. I'd just been blocking it from my trauma.
Yeah.
I wasn't trusting that little inner voice. I wasn't trusting all of the things that I do know and that we all have the ability to do. It's just obviously some people's gifts or abilities are a little bit more obvious if they're open to them.
Yeah.
But we got to tap into different stuff. Obviously got to practice a lot. Mm-hmm. Sean teaches through making you do it, not by showing you. So that was awesome, because I like learning through practically doing stuff, not actually just being told or looking at a blackboard. So that was good. And we got to do lots of mini things. It was a mediumship retreat, but we did a lot of psychic work as well, which I find fascinating.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah. We want to share that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, psychic. Psychic, everyone has some form of innate ability. So everyone is a psychic. Everyone is. But it depends on what your ability is or what you tap into and trust or develop, So some people can hear things clearly. Some people can see things, using their inner eyes. Yep. Some people will get a feeling. They're all called clairs or abilities or whatever you want to call them. I've always been a deeply feeling person, like I mentioned in the other podcast we did, and you'd see on my posts and things, I feel things very strongly. So that's a really natural gift for me. So I mostly feel someone's energy, or I feel if something feels right or wrong, or if I shouldn't do it. I feel into it a lot. Mm-hmm. I also do get a little bit of an inner voice. It's not really like someone's talking to me behind my shoulder. It's more like my higher self or my intuition clearly speaks to me. So I hear things. Yeah. But there's lots of them. There's so many, for someone, it could be that they can smell things and it triggers a little response. There's lots. I've discovered I do all of them all at once.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I think I've blocked, like I said, a lot of them from trauma. So I guess some of them made me feel a little bit nervous at first. But as I've gotten older and I have done a lot of layers of healing, I think it's opened me up more. And also understanding why I've gone through the things I have, it's made me understand why I've blocked what I've blocked. Because at the time, it might have been a little tiny bit too much for me.
Yeah.
Oh, tiny bit. And because I'm getting a sense that it'd almost be like you're in a different, like, scene, life, space to
Absolutely.
have, you know, what you're describing from the different Claires.
Yes.
You know, you'd almost feel like you're a different person, or you were that person, or, you know, you were the information that is coming through. You're basically embodying it, really, in a way.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can, and I do, if I allow it to, yes, if I give it permission to, I will embody it and fully tap into it. And the teachers have all taught a little different aspect of that. I mostly worked with Sean during the retreat, and as I said, the other teachers did do some other workshops, but I was always really, really drawn from my heart to go with Sean. And so I went to every single one of his classes, workshops, etc. I did have a little bit of time with Diane, but I also do, since the retreat, an online mentorship with Diane. She does it online with people to develop. So you work with other psychic mediums online once a week. We do a development class, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And she works more from the soul to soul level, which I'm really drawn to, obviously, with my other work with soul regression therapy and quantum healing hypnosis. That kind of stuff is how I've incorporated into my offerings with what I'm doing now with my intuitive soul sessions. It's also opened me up, just to tap into all of those abilities that I've always had, but I didn't know what they were. I just thought it was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But also to know how to use them, to just trust them. Like I tell my clients all the time, just trust it, just do it. If it tells you, but I don't sometimes.
Yeah.
But I really have, like, since I went on that trip and did it, if something's just activated in me to know, like, my obviously innate abilities have come through to go, we're here, you silly duffer. Like, of course you can do it. Yeah.
And it's like a muscle, isn't it? Like the more you use it and trust it and go with it, the stronger it gets, the louder it gets, the stronger the feeling is, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And allowing and trusting. So, like, I'll live my life by just going, oh, yeah, that feels good, I'll do that. Or no, it doesn't, don't do that. So I've always done that. But I really tap into that because it's the first sense I get, which is my natural, strongest sense. And then once I open to that feeling, everything just opens up and expands. Sorry, my doggies are barking in the background. Everything opens up and expands where all of the other senses pop through. So I will definitely hear. I had a session online the other day, actually with a person from Miami in Florida. And I asked her, how did you find me? And she said, one of the girls you went on the retreat with loves you. So it's my sister. And she told me to have a session with you. And I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So beautiful. Yeah, so beautiful. And I've had a few sessions online with other people, you know, like from Perth and things, because they followed me being online in my, obviously, Instagram and Facebook capacity. I did years ago used to do sessions via Zoom, but I stopped them because I got a bit busy with face-to-face, and I don't like the connectivity issues of someone freezing and not knowing what to do. But since I've come back from the retreat, because I've met so many people there that want sessions with me that do not live near me, I have thought on it, and I've even asked my guides and my higher self, am I meant to be doing some of this online? They're like, yes, of course you are, because you can do it. I can do it on the phone if anyone wants to. Like, I don't need to be with you. I can tap into your energy from anywhere, you know. Anyway, so I did. And I've offered, like, my soul regression is accessible online, which is what the teachers, John and Lorna, do them online. I prefer personally being with someone, like in the space. Like, that's my preference, but I have put it out there. Yeah. I like the feeling of actually being with them and getting to know them a bit more and not worrying about pressing record and stuff. Like, I don't want to worry about that. I just want to feel into them. But I have added it as an option for people that want me but can't access me in Merimbula.
Yeah.
But I've also had people travel from, like, a very far away to come to me, which is also beautiful. So each to their own.
I think this is the thing with the activation, though, isn't it, too? Like the expansion of yourself is it does become a global galactic, you know, cosmic kind of thing where there are no barriers to
Yes.
You're just drawn. You're a magnet. People
Yeah.
actually want to be with you, and they will travel a long period of time to be wherever they need to be.
Yeah.
Because they have that feeling. Yeah.
You're still our number one on our road list when road trip list when
so
GA goes on the road.
You're so sweet. But even the people that were drawn to go to this retreat in Bali did the exact same. There's something in them said, no, I've got to go to that, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them traveled 20 hours to get there, and like planes and trains and automobiles. Like they did that because they were really drawn that they needed to be there at that time. And it just activated something within me, the first part. I also had some really unique experiences through that. So I've had it happen in meditations and quantum healing, but one of the big ones was at the Pyramids of Chi. I don't know if you've heard of that or you know what it is, but it's these beautiful, it's in Ubud, but it was close to where we were staying, but traffic-wise, it took a really long time to get there. But it's this beautiful, I'll call it a sanctuary. You can look it up when you go offline, but if you ever go to Bali, you should definitely go there. It's pyramids that they're I don't know what they're made of, but they're kind of, you know, like a man-made material, but they're shaped exactly to the pyramids in Giza. And they actually have taken the sound from Giza in a jar or container and brought it there and put it in the pyramids. Wow. So it's like actually in there. I just got goosebumps then.
Yeah.
And in it, it's a sound healing sanctuary. So they do all different levels. They do some of the similar modalities to me. They offer hypnosis and stuff, but specifically our groups went there. They were split into two, obviously, because there was 100 of us. So one group was 50, and we lied down on a mattress, and they gifted us an eye bag and a blanket, and you lied down, and they did a beautiful sound session. And then the next group went in while we had dinner. Like, we swapped the groups because it was so many people. But in that experience, because I facilitate sound healing, you know, a couple of times a week and definitely once a month with my big sessions. And it was really nice to actually have one. And when the guy was talking, he was saying he was from Yuan country, which is where I live. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And I was listening to all this stuff and I'm like, oh, this is so good. So I fully immersed myself in it. During that, obviously, some people nod off to sleep and you can hear them snoring and stuff, like a bit of thing. But I can really tune out from that and just pretend like I'm the only person in that pyramid.
Yeah.
And just immerse in everything. And I was feeling so relaxed and lovely. I all of a sudden got this little golden light, which I thought was a bug, but then I realized I had an eye mask on my eyes and my eyes were closed. So what am I flapping at? And then I was like, oh, what is that? And once I acknowledged that there was something there, it got a little bit bigger and brighter. And I was like, what is this? And it was like a little golden orb of light.
Oh.
And it came to me. I'm getting massive goosebumps now. I'm really warm. It's come to me in my session. So I think I mentioned that last time we spoke about how I was the golden light being and I got to go home. Do you remember that a little bit?
Yes, you made us cry because we felt that. Yeah,
that's what that little golden light being is like me, my soul. But it was showing itself to me. I'm getting such big goosebumps now.
My head's just going boom, boom.
It came into my vision, so it let me see it. Like, and I'm not hypnotized. I was literally just lying there with an eye mask on because he'd only just started the sounds and finished talking, and it came to me, and I was like, oh wow, like what are you doing? Like, who are you? What are you here for? Basically, I didn't talk, just thinking this.
Yeah.
And it came around me. It moved around my body like it was moving through my chakras. And I could feel it, like, energetically moving through me. It went into my solar plexus and did a lot of shifting and moving there and glowed, like, really bright. And then all of a sudden it just went straight into my sacral chakra and it started moving around like in a figure eight, like it was fixing or something. It was doing a lot of work in there, like a lot. So much so I put my hands there to think, am I imagining this is happening? And I could literally feel this warmth and movement just flowing just below my belly button. And I was like, whoa, what is happening? It was beautiful with the sound and this beautiful golden orb going through me. It did whatever it wanted to do physically to me. And then I was like, oh, like it was kind of done. And it went straight into my solar plexus and sort of expanded like a big burst of starlight. And I just felt this warm feeling through my body, like the sun or joining back to source, like that beautiful feeling. And I just was so immersed. It felt like I was humming, like my body was like humming with this beautiful feeling. And I was like, wow. And then he finished the thing and I just wanted to lie there forever because I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I slowly got up. I did some normal little stretches and things that I do. And I went out and talked to him and I thanked him and I gave him a hug because he'd said he was from the same area and that, which was really nice because I haven't had one for so long because I give them, but I don't get them.
Yeah.
And then I went up to go and meet my friend to have dinner because we got fed the best meal I've ever, also eat there. It's the best meal I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's fully vegetarian, vegan, but it's like you're eating like heaven in every mouthful. I can't explain it.
Wow.
They just give you the most beautiful food and service and the place. It's just magical.
Wow.
Anyway, off on a tangent with my tummy, I was like, oh, I really need to go to the toilet, you know, because all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
And I said to her, can you just hold my bag? I'll be back in a second. She's like, yep. I went to the toilet and I got my period and I was like, what? Like, what?
Wow.
And I know my head went, oh, it just worked on my solar plexus. And I was like, what? And I went back to her and I told her and she's like, what? And I told her what happened and she goes, oh my God, it's like it healed you. And I'm like, oh, I know.
So it's like a cleanse, like a deep.
Yeah. And then we had this big, massive conversation. She was like, oh my God. She told me lots of stuff as well. She didn't experience it, but she told me stuff and she listened and she's like, oh my God, I think it's like, it did something to you. And I'm like, same. She goes, you look like you're also glowing. And I was like, I think I'm getting redder as I'm saying it too.
Yeah. Your energy's in you, like your flesh. Yeah, you are.
I'm getting warmer when I'm talking about it. And we went on a bus trip back and you could just get on any bus as long as you're going to the right destination because there were so many, they couldn't keep track of things. So I get on a bus with my friend and we're talking. And when I say my friend, we connected in our class and obviously we were connected more than other people. So we did stuff together, you know. Anyway, we were sitting there, we were talking about it still. And someone next to me said, what did you say? And I said, because, you know, there's obviously like 12 or a few other people on the bus with you. So you can hear everyone's conversation. And I told her and she just looked at me with her jaw dropped. And she goes, the same thing just happened to me. She goes, I didn't get my period, but I just had this experience there. And I said, well, tell me about it. And so she told me, and she'd had a very, very similar experience with this little golden light orb. She told me all about it. I'm getting massive goosebumps now.
Yeah, wow.
And I just looked at her, and because the girl behind me said, oh, that must be why you're going on the star being retreat. It's already coming to visit you. And then that's when the girl popped in and said, oh, are you going on that? What happened? And then I told her. And I said, yeah, I'm going. She goes, so am I. And I went, oh, because I hadn't met anyone yet on it that was going. Because there was only a really small amount of us and no one else that I knew in my class was going. And I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I just got this really strong connection to her. And I was like, oh, wow. And I didn't really think much of it. And then when I went back to my room, I went, oh, I think that's who I'm supposed to meet. Just in my head.
Yeah.
Because they were going to meet someone. And I was like, oh. But I thought, I don't know why, but whatever. I'll just leave it. I started doing all the other stuff, went to sleep, did all the work. And then at another time we'd had a group session because we weren't in the same class, this other lady and I. So we went.
Was she Australian?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's from Victoria. We've connected all the dots now.
Yeah.
But in another part, we had a big group session with 100 of us in the room and we did some beautiful like trance dance where you go into a trance and dance to your soul, how your soul would dance. And I'm the type of person.
I'm already booking my mind. I'm booking.
I'm there.
I was waiting till after to get the details, but I don't know.
Yeah, come with me. How good would that be? That would be so good.
Yeah.
But you literally, dance to how your soul would dance. I'm the type of person that will dance if there's no music on. So like, I don't care who's watching. If I feel like dancing, I just dance. Even if I'm at Coles, I'll just dance. That's just me. If I feel like it, I'm just moving.
Yeah.
So in it, you close your eyes though, so no one's looking at you because it's not like a show. No one's like judging how you dance. And a few of the girls that I had connected with were like, oh, I don't really feel comfortable. And I'm like, but no one's here to watch you. Like, just do it. And they're like, I don't feel that good about it. So they didn't, or they just stand there and rock a little bit. But I was fully like going with it. You just had to be mindful of not smashing into someone, obviously. There are a few people from my class, like there was this really beautiful young girl that would like, you know, lose all inhibitions and fly around the room, you know, but we didn't impact anyone. But I just would have every now and then I would sort of just have a light, soft gaze down at my feet just to see if I hadn't moved off the spot. And luckily where I'd chosen, there was sort of a joiner in the carpet. So I knew that I wasn't really moving that far from it, but I fully let go. And as I did, that golden orb came back because it must when I'm happy, it comes to me.
I thought you actually went on the ground.
Yeah. And it fully came to me, and I was like, oh, and when I acknowledge it's there, it gets really happy and it gets bigger. So it's like, oh, she knows I'm here. Not she knows she's here because it's me. But it's a spark of me. But it comes and it gets really illuminated and big. And I was like, oh, do you want to play with me? Like, and I put my hands out and like hopped on my hands. So then I thought, oh, I'll play with it. So I did all this beautiful, if someone was watching me, they'd probably be thinking, what is she on? But I did all these beautiful movements where I'd get the energy board, you know, to grow bigger and smaller and things like that. And did all these figure 8 things and got it to go all around me. And then when I was done with it, I'd just push it back in my solar plexus, like, because I was a bit, you know, tired or whatever. And just kept doing it. Then it would appear again, and I'd be like, oh my God, I was smiling. I was so happy. Like, it was the best thing. Because it was like it was just me and the ball. Like, I didn't know anyone else was there.
Yeah.
And then it goes for an hour, this session. Didn't even know it was an hour. Like, that's how exciting it was. I was fully immersed in it. And then they slowly, like, turn the music off and, you know, you stop and you go. And I was, like, vibrating. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was like processing it, going, oh my God, I don't know what's happened. So I just went, you know, back to my room. I had a shower. I just lied there going, what just happened? I rang my husband and told him 100 miles an hour. All the things. He's like, okay.
Yes, I can imagine. That would be us, yeah.
Thank goodness he's on the same wavelength as I'm not. Nah.
You can understand Blake language, Blake.
Yeah. And then I go to sleep and like process it all, even though, you know, I'm like, whoa, what just happened? The whole day plus that was like amazing, mind-blowing. And throughout the day, we've done all these psychic workshops and mediumship workshops, one-on-one and in groups. And we did like psychic speed dating and all this stuff. Like, it was really cool, like really cool. And just opened up and expanded what we already have in us, you know, like what we do all know. And I even got off the tangent of telling you what's a psychic and a medium with this story.
Yes,
It's all right.
We'll come back.
Okay, we'll come back.
So that was fun. Being a psychic. Okay, now what's the medium?
Yeah. But I'll go back to that. So I'll tell you the difference, though, is everyone's a psychic, but not everyone's a medium. So every medium is a psychic.
Yeah.
But not every psychic is a medium. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So mediumship is simply being the medium, the word, or the channel or the conduit to the spirit realm or the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. To energy not within our humanly space.
Yeah.
I guess tapping into it, I didn't realize I can do it so simply. Like, I can do it like whenever I want or wherever I am. Obviously, I'm not going to do it to someone that doesn't want the information. So I wouldn't do it at someone at Coles or in the street, because that'd be weird and intrusive, and they might not be open to it. But in my sessions, for example, or on this retreat, you could do it with anyone, because everyone wanted to experience or do it. So everyone was open to everything.
Yeah.
And since coming back and I've added it as an offering, you know, obviously I've had lots of clients where I've done it with them, and whatever comes through. I'm open to receiving. So I get lots of information, people, animals, everything.
What about on a podcast?
Pardon? What did you say?
What about on a podcast?
Yeah, I can tap in.
I'm open.
You're so cute. I can tap into a little bit if you want.
Yeah.
I'm already like hot and energetically excited.
Yeah, we're just
funny. When you were talking about it before, I was getting hot, but I was thinking, is it just me? But I could feel the heat coming through in my body.
My head keeps spinning now. I feel like my top of my head's like coming off.
Yeah, that's what's happening to me as well. I'm like, whoo, it's like
open
the energy. Yeah, but I can tap into you if you want. So I'll do a little quick one, obviously, because that will take the whole podcast if I go off on a tangent about that. But I'll do a quick little one. I'll just tap into either of you because you're right together. So let me just tap into who comes through. Tell me if like it's familiar, because it could be for either of you because you're sitting together.
Yep. And you can. I'm open, and I'm sure Amanda is too.
Yeah.
I don't care what comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Completely faith.
Okay, cool. I'll just tap into it. I don't need to do a meditation or anything. I just take 3 slow, deep breaths and I'll just tap into you. Well, the first thing I get is a baby.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm getting a baby coming through. I'm just going to tap into what or who that baby might be connected to. It's a little baby. Did either of you lose a baby?
Not recently. I did. Yes, I had miscarriage and yeah.
Okay. Because it's really like it's really new energy, like really spirit baby, little baby, like young, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to tap into that more, why it's come through. Okay, so with that baby obviously being lost before its time, it wasn't. That was part of a journey and also a learning experience for you. But what that baby is showing me, that it's come through in your firstborn child. So the same soul is in your firstborn child. I'm getting really big goosebumps around that. So the energy from that spirit or soul, if you'd like to say, did come back to you. So you never lost them because they're in your firstborn child. That's the soul of that essence that's tapping through, but it wants you to be aware of that, because you might feel a different connection to your firstborn baby, even though we love and have connections to our children, but there might be some reason why it needs you to remember that connection at a soul level. And I'm getting really big goosebumps about it. It's just showing, I'm just seeing this as a little tiny energy. It's really bright white light. So I'm not seeing a baby in form. I felt a baby's presence at first, and then I felt the energy attachment of that little soul. And then it's showing me your firstborn child is that same soul. So it wants you to know you never lost it, and it's always with you.
Thank you.
In your child, which is, yeah. Does that help or do anything for you?
Well, it's interesting because that we both have beautiful boys, and my beautiful boy is my firstborn, and I did have a termination at a stage in my relationship. And I always felt like my prayer for that soul at the time was that it wasn't the right time and my deepest love, but I know you'll come back to me.
Yeah.
Oh, babe.
Yeah. Oh. And it's really beautiful and loving the energy, and that would be the connection that you would feel if you tap into that with your child that's with you. That's the feeling. Yeah.
I have thought that a few times over his lifetime, how brave he was.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So lovely.
And how much we wanted each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's showing me a soul connection to you. So now it's showing me like that little shiny white light that I see, but it has like little beams of energy coming off it. And it's showing me several. I'm not sure how many because they're moving, so they don't stay there in an energetic form. But it's, if you can see, can you see my hands? Yes. It's sort of like little, I wouldn't say threads, but little beams of this energy or light. And when I'm tapping into, like, kind of say to it, what does that mean or why? It's showing me because you've also had other soul existences together. There's soul to soul connection, which is why it came back through to you, because it wanted to exist again with you, like now. But you have had other existences, which is also why you'd feel that strong connection at times. But it's showing these little threads on, what is that? And it's like other paths, like other, it's not saying other lives because it's like all in one existence, but it's just showing me other parts that are connected to that same soul journey together with you. So that's beautiful.
Very beautiful. Yeah, very.
Yeah, and it's got this beautiful, it's a very loving energy. Very warm, but it's really bright. Like, I guess if you look at a light or a flash, you know, like that bright white light, it's like that, like it's kind of blinding, but it's beautiful. But it has, this beautiful love and connectedness, and it keeps showing me those little, I guess, little threads. I will say threads, but little
like connection points or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and they keep moving, like, and disappearing and flowing. And when I'm tapping in, I don't say what is that, but like, what is that in that language?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's showing me, is the connectedness to other existences of the same souls. So that's beautiful.
That's very amazing.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually very powerful at the moment too, because of like where both of us are and where we're growing in our lives and things and what we're sharing together. So it's a really beautiful, I'll say, just affirmation of all the different parts of us that are a part of what we're sharing now.
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel so grateful that things like that come through, because I am open to anything and obviously giving, and if people are open to receiving it. Yeah. But I love that because it also helps me to understand what they're trying to communicate or tell me, because it isn't simple words.
Yeah.
Yeah. and I feel into it first, and then I got a little visual of what that might be, and I just saw a baby, and then I saw this little light, and I just tap into all of those, I guess you'd call them, like you said, muscles before, or faculties, and tap into what is actually trying to tell me and communicate, because I didn't get words. I sometimes do. That's where I went off on this tangent was, one of the calls I had the other day was a lady in Miami, and we did a Zoom call, and through that, the soul that I had connected with for her was humming, and I could hear that they were humming a song, but it was really bad humming, so I don't know what the song was. And it was really hard to translate, because I was like, are you trying to tell me something? Because like I couldn't do the song because I couldn't hum it, because it was really bad. Like it wouldn't have made sense to her because it wasn't in tune. Like it didn't make sense. But I knew they were trying to communicate something. And I said, did this person used to sing to you? Did you have a song together that represented your relationship? Or she goes, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And she goes, can I tell you? And I said, yeah, because I don't understand the humming. Like it's trying to tell me something, but I did it for a while, and I was like, I don't know what this is, because the song was not familiar. And then because I said, oh, do you sing in the shower or the car? Because I was like, some people can sing bad, but they just sing anyway. And I'm like, is he trying to say what he's been watching her? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. What is this? Anyway, it came down to that. Her sister that was on the retreat with me obviously is open and gets messages from the other side, and she got one the other day of a song, knew it was from this person for her sister, and so
woo, we lost you. The energy's strong.
I'm so sorry. I just really knocked my computer off. I was tapping my hands around so much. Oh, fuck, that's funny. So she's really open to receiving the messages. Her sister not so much, but she really wanted to connect to this soul. And so her sister sent her this link to this song, and she listened to it and was like, oh my gosh, like I think that might be from this person. And I said, well, what's the song? And she told me the name, and I immediately thought of a different song. And then I said, can you send me a link or the name after? Because I want to look it up to hear if that was the humming, because the humming wasn't clear. She's like, yep. So she sent it, and it was the song. And I got goosebumps and I cried. And then I listened to the words and went, oh, I know why he sent her that song. And that was the song.
It's so funny, this whole psychic medium thing, because I went to a psychic not long ago. And he was really good, but he was also a bit of an asshole. He came from a real controlling, like, sit down and put me in my place kind of straight away, blah, 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 blah. But he was so amazing. You just had to take photos of past people and present people kind of thing.
Oh, anyway, yes.
He was, without even looking at the photo, he was pointing at my husband, which the photo was facing me, not him. And he was pointing at my husband, and he started laughing, and he said, oh, I'm not going to say that. And I'm like, no, I want you to say anything. He goes, no, it's a bit silly. I don't think it relates to you. I think Spirit's just being funny with me.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I believe that you say everything, but, and he goes, oh, he's telling me Baywatch. What on earth is Baywatch to do with that? I said, well,
funnily enough,
yeah, my husband's been on Baywatch, and he just nearly died. And he goes, oh my God, I always get lessons, where I should just say whatever's coming through, whether it sounds stupid or not, because you just don't know.
Yeah. It can mean so much. Yeah. And that little thing you knew, and it meant so much. Or we can get stuff that comes through that isn't clear, like the humming. I knew it had to do with music or a song.
Yeah.
But I couldn't figure out that was whether he's watching what she's doing or they had some connection together. I didn't know he'd sent like her sister a message and all that. I didn't know all that part.
Yeah.
But when the song was like confirmed that's the song, it was like an instant acknowledgement of, oh wow, this is really connecting to me,
Yeah.
And sometimes obviously some stuff comes through, like I'm not going to give someone a medical diagnosis or something, but you could subtly suggest they get something checked. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be really like mindful of what information you're giving someone, because it also can be shocking or scary or freak them out,
Yeah.
I guess it's the way you deliver it. So I get really clear connections to some information where I'm like, I don't know if the person's going to understand what I'm giving them, but if I say it in a way in their terms or from their energy or in a simple term and I see their reaction, I can go, oh, I can share a little bit more, or maybe I should pull back a bit. But I definitely wouldn't keep a message. If something's coming through, it's coming through for them to know.
Yeah.
Spirit doesn't give us messages to harm anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no malice. It's all with beautiful love, intention, and kindness from the divine. It's nothing ever harmful.
Yeah.
Some of the things they might not instantly connect with and go, oh yeah, I understand that. You might go, oh, I don't know about that. But then you say something else and they go, oh yeah, that's the thing. Because you got to, it's really like translation in a different form.
Yes.
There's no subtitles. Yeah.
And it's a lot of information coming through all at once, you know. And the person that's receiving the information might not, like, it can be a bit of an overload.
It can be overwhelming, absolutely, yeah. And I get it really clear. So on the retreat, when I do the workshops with other people in my class, I get all this information, I tell them, and they're like, no, that's not it. And I'm like, no, it is.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it isn't. And I'm like, no, it definitely is the thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm definitely not confused with this. There's definitely, then they're like, okay. And then they're like, oh my God, that's right.
Oh,
like, when they thought about it.
Yeah.
Or a connection, you know, to someone that they've lost. The translation might be not very clear. So I had one, I won't share names or everything, obviously, because of confidentiality and stuff. But on the retreat, we did this blind thing, which I thought, I can't do it without seeing. And then I'm like, oh my God, are you stupid? Like, you can't see me anyway. So what we had to do was half of our group was the sitter and half of the group was the communicator. So someone sits there and listens to you and the other person communicates through the spirit world for that person. So I was the communicator for the first round because I'm like, oh, might as well just, you know, grab the bull by the horns. Yeah. I'm not scared of trying stuff, so I'll do it. If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, oh, well.
Yeah.
You're learning
so
something.
Then he goes, but I'm just going to mix things up. I want you to close your eyes. And I'm like, what? And then my first thought was, I'm not going to be able to do it if I can't see them. But then I was like, I don't actually look at them anyway. Like, I'm not looking at you going, oh, it's for you. Like, I don't get any, like, a baby didn't fly over your shoulder. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get that. But then I was like, oh, how do you do this? And then all we could do with communication also, so you couldn't know who you were reading for, was no words. I got to talk and they had to listen, but they could tap once for yes or twice for no on your hand.
Oh, I love this.
This is
very
cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Like,
it was so cool. It was so cool. And it opened you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It opened you up so much because you had to block out your sight, which is a big sense.
And a filter as well, because sometimes that actually changes sort of the expression or what you're seeing or you know, what you want to say or anything.
Exactly. So all you're tapping into is the energy of what is in front of you and what's coming through. So at first my brain thought, well, what if no one sits in me in front of me and I'm talking and there's no one there?
Just a little psychic joke.
Yeah, like as a trick. Let's get Blake. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. But so what I thought was, because I said something and there was no yes or no, and I'm like, if there's someone sitting in front of me, can you tap once for yes or twice for no, just to make sure we're there? So then they did, and I was like, oh, cool. Because I was like, imagine all this energy and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And we're all in the same room, so you can also hear and feel stuff. So you're not fully, you know, in your own little sheltered box and safe and it's quiet. There's people chatting and talking and crying and laughing. You know, there's lots going on.
Yeah.
And it was hot. You know, there's so many things.
Yeah.
Which also must be like to filter that out and just be part of the environment and then but to zone into
fully tap into that energy.
And
I did. And at first it was quite intense because it showed me everything. Like, it showed me the person that was coming through and it showed me how they died and it showed me all their stuff. Wow. And I was like, what? Because I went like that and my neck cracked like that. Their neck broke. And I was like, what is happening? And I didn't panic, but I was like, how do I say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm like thinking and trying to be also in my therapist mum mode going, did they die unexpectedly in a tragic way? Because I'm like, how do you communicate this? Like, I just saw everything.
Wow.
I had to just slowly say stuff. And then I'd get a yes. And then I'd get a yes. And then I'd get a yes. And I'm like, oh, and I'm getting the goosebumps now. They're probably tapping into me. One of the things in that was the soul that I'd connected with died when they were like too young, like way before their time, in a tragic accident. And all of the things I was shown were accurate and correct.
Wow.
And then one part was confusing to the person I was like communicating for, like to the person I was saying it to out loud. This little person was showing me playing with toys and cars and drawing and stuff, which is pretty normal for a young person. And then I said, but they keep showing me a book. And I said, it's kind of like a scrapbook, but it's got all these different types of pictures and drawings in it. And I said, do they like drawing? She's like, no, not unusually, like, you know, that we couldn't click together. But I'm like, this is what this was showing me. It kept showing me this beautiful like scrapbook, big, with heaps of different pictures and drawings and art and all this stuff in it. And I said, well, just have a think on it. If it comes to you at any time, let me know, because it was really clear that it wanted me to know, to tell you this is important. And I'm like, and she's like, no, I don't know what it is. I went to sleep, and before I went to sleep, that little soul came to me again, and it told me what it was, and I just got massive goosebumps. And I'm like, what is this? Because I'd learned the person's name, like the one that had crossed over, and he explained everything to me what it was. And then I was like, okay, so I have to tell her, right? So it's not a client or anything. So I'm like, she's very open, but I said to her before I told her, oh my God, so-and-so came to me in like just before I went to sleep. This is what that meant. And she just started crying.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what does that mean to you? And she goes, oh my God, because he told me what he'd done is, she's an artist, which I did not know this. Oh. She's an artist, but she stopped creating for a little while because she's, you know, not feeling it, but she is an artist where she's been in galleries and things. So like, good, you know?
Yep.
And I said, but do you do kind of abstract art? And she said, yes. I said, oh, because what he's telling me is that's a scrapbook of all the work you've done, because he's watching you and he keeps a snippet of everything you create in his own book because it's for her. So in the spirit side, he's watching her and he's with her all of the time, and he keeps her work because he's so proud of her. And she just burst out to like crying, and she's like, oh my God, what? And then I looked on her thing, because once after the retreat we connected and I thought about all this stuff, and I saw her art, and it's the art that's in the book.
Oh my God.
But when I was saying it to her, that she didn't know what that meant. So she was like, no. And I was like, no, it's definitely yes. But afterwards, he still tapped into me because we had a very strong connection. And she also told me that he's never come through her before when she's had a reading. That was the first time. And once he clearly came through me for her, in all the other workshops she did with other people, he kept coming back with more information. So it was cool. It opened like a channel for her to allow him to come through.
Yeah.
So cool. I loved it.
This is the, I guess, you know, like what you shared before around unblocking the trauma, like to lose your child. That's, you know, that's a big block. So, you know, her work, she stopped creating art, you know, your heart's shut for whatever, you know, down for a while, these things.
Yeah, it wasn't her child. It was actually her little brother. Sorry.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So but still trauma, like still trauma. Yeah. But a lot. But the trauma does block that. Yeah, it does. And like it did for me, block my abilities that are in me. I had sort of pushed them away thinking it's just part of me being a bit weird. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But it's not. And if you allow the connection and the connectiveness to come through, obviously as my consciousness has risen, doing all of the shedding of the trauma and the layers and all the work I do and have done, and I see the shifts in clients, I'm obviously different, open and aware, have a different vibration and frequency I did than, you know, 20 years ago. So of course I didn't see stuff how I see it now. But I think as we evolve and grow, you open up to what you need to experience and do. And I get it now because of all of the work I've done. It makes sense why I'm at this point now of understanding everything it's showing me. Because I get it. Like, it doesn't scare me.
No.
I'm not surprised by it. I do have to be very mindful how I communicate what they show me, because I literally feel how they die, which isn't very pleasant.
Yeah.
I don't get that for everyone, but most I do.
Yeah.
If that's what they're really wanting to know.
Yeah.
I've had one.
I just wanted to ask you about, because it keeps coming through, and I think for our listeners as well, is there's like a band with mediums, you know, where people, it's usually with people that have passed, but for your QHT stuff, that's a different kind of channel altogether, because with your QHT, you're channeling into past lives, aliens, other beings, other planetary beings and all of that. When the mediumship, you're really just channeling or tapping into people that have passed, that have...
A little bit. I tap into beyond that. So I can tap into spirit guides, past lives, higher self, other dimensions, star beings, if they want to come through. I think I'm a little bit more open to just the crossed over loved ones plane, if that makes sense. It is all accessible in the quantum field.
Okay.
There's not different levels. There's not a mediumship tier and then another one. It's all expansive. That's all connected to us. It's just what that particular medium might be open to or trusting, or what they feel comfortable with coming through. So I did notice when I worked with a few mediums over in Bali, but also on that development group online, some of them have got different styles.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of people that use tools, so tarot cards or oracle cards, or pendulums or crystals, which is great if that's what they need. I don't. I find the energy from the object a bit too overstimulating for me because I'm already like, woo! If I touch the crystal, I get the energy of the crystal's life and I see it, how it was formed and died. Like, it's a lot. But with the cards, we did do workshops with one of the things where they had some oracle cards, and I said, I don't really want to use them. And Sean goes, I know you don't really want to, and I don't want you to, but I want you to use it so you know what it feels like the difference. And I'm like, okay. And I wasn't going to not use it, but to me, I didn't need it to read the energy of what I needed to know from the group, because we were working in a group of 4 at the time. And I said, oh, you guys go first and I'll just watch and feel into this, because I don't want to go pick a card first, because to me, I'm not adverse to the cards, but I don't need the card. Anyway, so the other ladies went first, and some of them have done the work before, so they're at different levels than me and different awareness and openness. But in this particular group, you would pick up a card, like obviously what you're drawn to, and then look at the card, get a feel for the card, and then see out of this group of 4 of us, so if the person's reading, there's 3 other beings there, which one this might be for, and then tap into them and give them a reading. That's how we worked this.
Yeah.
So we did this. So the first lady picked up one, she looked at the card and she tapped into the lady across from her and read for her. And then the next lady picked up a card and read for someone else. And then the other girl picked up a card and started reading for me. And I said, she goes, does any of that make sense? And I said, no. And I said, but exactly what you're saying to me is a reflection of you. And she goes, what?
Oh, what's that? Boom.
And she goes, what? And she goes, what do you mean? And they started talking. And I said, no, don't talk. I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't need any assistance. I said, but the things you're literally picking up and saying to me, they actually are for you, aren't they? And she said, she got all like hot. She had to take her shirt off and she got tears and she's like, yes.
Oh, how beautiful.
All of the things are actually for me. And I said, do you want me to read for you? And she goes, yep. And so she puts the card down. And so I told her all this stuff beyond what she read for me, which was actually for her. And she just burst out crying and goes, that's exactly what's happening. And I went, I know, but I don't know why I know, but I know.
Yeah.
And yeah.
How beautiful that you were in your truth and that you stayed into your certainty and that.
Yes. Well, then Sean came over and said, yeah, I know. Because I was like, no, this is definitely not for, like, because they're like, they're all going, aren't you picking up from anything we're saying? And I said, no, none of what you're saying resonates for my life right now, or anything I have experienced or am yet to. It's not feeling right for me. Like, because I'm not going to lie also. We're there to learn. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, that's my dead dog, because it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to. I did feel sometimes when someone would say something and it didn't align, I would have to like sheepishly say, no, I'm so sorry, but that doesn't align, because I can't lie. Like, I never lie. If I lie, I can't handle it. So I freak myself. I can't just say yes for the sake of making someone feel happy or good. I have to just be honest. Mm-hmm. And so with mine, when it taps through, I'm like, no, that's the thing. Even if they don't believe it, I'm like, no, it definitely is the thing. And then they'll go, oh my God, it is. Anyway, so I then got told by Sean to get a card, and I was like, I really don't want to. And he goes, well, you're scared of them. And I said, no, I feel like they're a bit overstimulating, because if I look at, like, you know, a flower on the wall, I'm going to read the flower and tell you all about things. He's like, that's okay, just tap into things. Because they were talking about using tools around you, especially for him, like if he's up on stage and got to do, you know, in a big crowd and they just get a little snippet, they've got to really tap into that a little bit more to get a little assistance on the way, if that makes sense, if you need it.
Yeah.
He doesn't use tools, but he was showing us how you can and how other psychic mediums do. But anyway, I go get a card, and the first one I get, it's like glowing on the table, and I'm like, oh, that's the card. So I get it. I can't even remember what it is now. I don't remember what it is now. But anyway, I get this card and I look at it and I went, oh, like it gave me the like, ooh, funny feeling. And I immediately stopped looking at it and I slapped it between my hands and I felt what the card said rather than looking at it, because I thought, oh, I'm very visual. If I look at that, I'm just going to tell them everything from the card.
Yeah.
So what I thought was, I'll just do this differently, even though I'm actually doing what he asked, but I'm not. Yeah. I felt the card. All I saw was the words, which I totally forget what it said now. But anyway, that's not relevant.
No.
And the lady said, oh, what is it? And I said, oh, hang on, let me do this first, because she does use cards. So I thought, I don't want it to tell me. So I said, well, let me do it first and then tell me if I'm right. And she goes, okay. And so I did it. And it happened to be for her, this card. Oh. And then I was telling her and she goes, nah, it doesn't resonate. And I go, no, it does. It definitely does. And then I'd see like this pink mushroom glowing and pointing at her like an arrow. And I'm like, I can see a pink mushroom that looks like an arrow pointing at you. And she's like, what? I said, I don't know, just go with it.
Pointing at you.
Yeah. It was literally like pointing at her, like this pointing arrow, and it was a pink mushroom. And I was like, I don't know, I'm just telling you what I'm sensing and seeing. She's like, okay. I said, just listen and then tell me you are. And she's like, okay. So I start seeing all this stuff, and then I got this really strong, sick feeling, sort of heaviness. It's kind of my solar plexus. It kind of felt like a fear-based response, but I know I wasn't scared of anything, so it wasn't me. And I went, oh, it's her. So I said it, and she goes, no. And I go, yeah, it's definitely for you. And I scanned the other ladies, and they were like, no. And I'm like, no, it's definitely for you, because this pink mushroom kept pointing at her. And I was like, what? And then I was like tapping, what does that mean? So I'm feeling into this area just above my belly button, but it was kind of a sicky feeling, like a fear, like something was scary or worrying her.
Yeah.
And then I got really wet, heavy lungs, and I started to do this funny cough. And I said, do you have like mucus? Like, do you have asthma? And she's like, no. And then she coughed, like I felt like her coughing. And she goes, oh, I've had this really bad mucus on. I said, don't tell me. I already know. And then I was like, I was telling her all this stuff, and it was like, show me how to clear her lungs. And I felt the weight of it. It was like holding on to grief and fear and loss and all this stuff.
Wow.
And I said it all to her, and I said, you've got a fear of stepping into your power. That's why it's affecting your solar plexus. So I was telling this all, and she's like, her face was going like, and then I told it all to her. And then also, as I'm saying this, pink was a very prevalent color. The pink mushroom was really unusual. And then I also was telling her about some pink bird, and I was like, what's a pink bird? And then I was thinking about flamingos, and then I looked up in the corner, and there was a girl doing a reading, but she was wearing like a pink flowy gown, and it caught my eye because it was flowing, and it had flamingos on it, and I was like, what the hell? And then I turned around the other side, because he said use the things around you, and so I thought I'll try this out.
Yeah.
And then I looked behind, these pink flowers were flowing like in the wind, but the others were all still, and I was like, what's happening? And then I looked the other way on the shelf, and there was a big pink kind of like a crystal vase, but it was pink. And she was like, oh my God, I'll tell you. And I said, don't say anything. Kept telling her all this stuff. Anyway, she goes, I have to tell you something really interesting about pink. And I said, definitely, but tell me, is all the other stuff true? And she's like, yes. And I went, oh my God, okay. So I look at the card, and on the card, there's a pink mushroom. There was a flamingo. There was pink flower. There was pink, all little highlighting and glowing. All the things that I got highlighted to talk about her.
Yeah.
I said, what's the thing with pink? And she goes, hang on a second. And she went to her bag, and she goes, I went to the markets yesterday, and I don't like the color pink, and I had to buy this. And she opened it, and it was these beautiful brand new mala beads that were pink, like the pink of everything else I just saw. And she had to get them because it says you need to tap into your heart space more and love. And I was like, that's the pink.
Yes.
And she understood all the stuff. At first with that fear thing, she's like, no. And then she goes, oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was so cool. And then I gave her the card, and she goes, oh my God, everything you just said is exactly what it means. I just wish I could remember what the card was. But anyway, it all made sense to her. What I said is what I felt from the card rather than looking at it.
What a beautiful lesson in trusting, hey?
Yeah.
Yes.
And really anchoring in, there's that word again, into your truth, and like, no, I'm going to stick with this. This is what's coming.
Yeah. Because it didn't feel right to look at it to get the clues, because I felt like I already knew what I needed to tell her. But the card, like, looking at it made me overstimulated with the picture, not the actual feeling of what she needed to know. And one of the other ladies in the group, when I was doing it, because I was just silent for a while, like tapping into what it was showing me. And she goes, what you've got to do is, and I said, no, you need to stop talking. And then afterwards I said, I don't mean to be rude. And I said, I don't want to. And then she goes, no, that's okay. And then I go, actually, and then something popped through for her. And I said, oh, it's not that you need to stop speaking, like as in I'm not being rude to you, but it's as in that is also a message that you need to listen more, because it was like really clear. And she goes, that's what I keep getting told. And I said, well, it's really clear. You should listen more than giving advice, because I didn't need her help. Like, but my brain was like, no, don't tell me. I already know how to do this.
Love
and
that.
I did. And it was so clear.
The extension is huge, isn't it? Like you can feel like what you've been sharing this morning, like how being in that environment with like-minded souls, how activating that was for your whole energy field, and like intentionally going there, choosing to go there, knowing that it was calling you for that purpose.
Yeah, and to just trust it, just wing it, just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And the next part, we got to go on that star being retreat, and I connected with that girl that I'd connected with. We talked, and she also experienced a similar thing at the dance, like the trance dance, like we did in the pyramid. So she had this similar experience with the orb.
Okay.
And in my last workshop, which she did also, there was this part where it comes into you and you feel your true soul self, and it fully expanded and let out these beautiful beams of light. And I was telling her, and she's like, oh my God, that's the same feeling. And then I went, oh my gosh, when we went to the next retreat, because obviously we knew there was some connection with us for experience very similar things. We went as a partnership in one of the trances, one of the trance parts we did in the next, we did like a trance channeling and stuff with the star beings. And in it, I got to do that go home thing like I told you about from my other QHHT session. And what it revealed to me is she's one of my soul family.
Yes.
So I both got showed that beautiful golden light and orb because she's part of that, which is beautiful. And it said I was going to meet one, but I didn't know when. But that's obviously why I needed to go there, because I don't know if we would have encountered each other otherwise, or we probably would, but in a different way.
Yeah. And I reckon that's more, that's, you know, as, you know, everything we've been talking about now coming into our own gifts and our own modalities and all of that and the connections we're finding. I feel like we are now getting closer to that finding our soul family, or maybe they've been around us all along, but we haven't actually acknowledged them as that. And that more of that, the more that we come into our own, the more they're coming. Like I as I'm talking, I'm thinking about my own husband, right?
Yeah.
I'm realizing that, yes, he's my husband physically, all of that, but that we are so like similar and connected and think the same and almost like the same person kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have different elements that are not the same because obviously we've had different experiences, life experiences, but so much of who we truly are when we're in our essence is so fucking similar. It's wild.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that also would be showing you that feeling of inner knowing, connecting to the souls that you're with, like how you two are so close and how you know that part of him. You would have had other existences, or that are even like all coherent, you know, they're all happening at the same time right now. But you're tapping into that energetic remembrance of that soul connection is what will be happening.
Well, it's the same with us too.
Yes,
it's
I can
like
see that.
Our experience, our life experience is very similar, right from even our parents. The experiences that we talk about, and that when we're together, we don't talk about the weather, or I mean, we might say, "Oh, it's a beautiful day," but you know, we're
sometimes we pace ourselves and say, "Isn't it a beautiful day?"
And then we go deep that way. You know, there's no messing around. And we have another friend, Narelle, who's the same. We just don't. It's just deep conversation. Of expansiveness straight away.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you'll meet those people when you're supposed to meet them on your journey. I've learned that I will meet some more. So what I've been shown is there's 7 that are really of big importance to me to know in this life. And I'm obviously one of the 7. My current husband is one. My youngest child is one. My ex-husband is one. And this beautiful person I've connected with on the retreat is one. So there's 2 more that I'm yet to meet or encounter in my life. And they won't give me, I've asked for hints and clues and they're like, no, you'll just know.
Yeah.
But it will be on my journey ahead through all of this kind of work that I do.
Yeah.
And I'll just know who they are. Like I did with her, we just met on a bus. Like I wasn't at the retreat thinking, oh, I wonder who it could be. I didn't actually remember I was going to meet someone there, even though I got told I was. I didn't have that in anticipation of everyone I said hi to, thinking, oh, it could be them. I didn't do that.
No.
I kind of forgot about it.
That doesn't anymore. Like, you know, there's no more looking. It's just it literally comes back to just trusting.
Absolutely. And feeling into it. I've met so many beautiful souls there that I've connected with, and like we've connected like also online. Some of them are going to come to visit me and have a session. Some of us are going to go to the retreat again together next year. Like there's lots of beautiful souls I've met, but obviously we're not from that same purpose of me knowing my soul group, but they've still got some connectedness to me at a soul level and like-minded energy as well, because your frequencies obviously have to vibrate at the similar thing to match onto someone or not. That's good to be aware of and know if someone feels good for you or not.
And what do you feel like is is, say, the purpose of knowing your soul group or these at the souls coming together? Do you feel like it's part of, like, I'll say, not a timeline, because as you say, there's all these timelines happening, all like
It's like, for me, it's an awareness, which I learned on the retreat as well. And in my sessions, I've been shown glimpses of it. My higher self tells me all the time. And then when I get it, they're like, yay, she got it.
About bloody time.
Next thing. Okay. Let's see how long
I think I'm a little bit dense. Blake's a little bit dense. She's not actually getting the message.
I don't think so. I think she's a lot over.
But when I get it, it's like, I've asked specifically that question too. Like, why are you telling me about the 7? Like, what's the importance? It's showing me that there's more to just Blake, obviously, because I've expanded more on that soul stuff and learning of my past experiences with my ex-husband and why we were together and had children, all that stuff, the connectedness at a soul level and energetically, to learn and grow and evolve as a human, but also as a soul. But also, obviously, it helps my everyday life knowing that stuff, but also it helps my job with my clients and also the interconnectedness of them. It helps with the spiritual work I'm doing with the information that's coming through, like, who might that be? I don't just get grandmas or cousins, like, I get other people, you know? I get crossed over, like, loved ones that they had from school or a workmate. You know, I get lots, whoever they need to come through is coming through. Also, as I mentioned, I get the connectedness to star beings or other energy that comes through, because I'm very open to it all. I don't have like I don't like that filter. I'm just open to learning more. But when I've asked deeper to understand why have I been specifically shown us 7, because it wants me to understand the purpose of our soul's mission and that specific group's mission, which is to raise the consciousness of humanity and help the humans, including myself. Obviously, I have to get through it. But it's also, with my work, that expands on that. I've been shown for about 7 years when I've actually allowed all this spiritual stuff to come through. So in regressions, in meditations, in QHHT, in my mediumship work, or even just sitting there and looking at a tree, I'll get a message. And it's shown me that I'm to create a method. It's like little tiny parts of everything that I do into one. It's like a multi-dimensional layered method or modality, different to anything that we experience, because it's a lot of little tiny pieces of all of it put together. But it's ultimately to help you come back into knowing everything you need is already within you, basically. I'm not going to share the name of it yet. That's a little snippet or clue.
Has that come through? Has the name?
Yeah, I know the name. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. That's good.
Do. Look, I want to ask, because it's gone so quick and we do have to end this off, but I
have to get you back.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back.
Part A.
Yes.
I just want, for our listeners, is there anything that you want to add to this podcast at the end to share with our listeners that they can take away with them, you know, that can help them wherever they're at right now?
Always trust that inner knowing, like that little tiny part of you isn't always clear. It is if you listen, but it isn't always clear in day-to-day life. So trusting your deep inner knowing, your intuition, because all your intuition, I did a post about it maybe a month or 2 ago. I don't even know when now, because I'm lost in normal time. But I did a little post to say, you know, tapping into that connection with your higher source is, you know, the all-knowing you at a soul level, and it knows everything about you in this existence and every other existence. But that's really hard to just start trusting and talking to your higher self in your day-to-day life when you have shit going on, like kids, work, family, the world, issues and energy. Like, it's all a bit overwhelming to just tap straight into that. But our intuition is like the higher self sending you a text message, and the text message is your gut inner knowing of you receiving that SMS. And the part to connect to the bigger part, I'm getting massive goosebumps now, is to read that little text message, because it will tap into the bigger message, which is coming from the all-knowing you, which you have access to. You don't have to be in a trance. You don't have to have a hypnosis. You don't have to have a QHHT. It is a part of you. We just don't realize that you're connected with it in your everyday life, because it gets mucked away by all the busyness of life. So trusting that inner knowing, or that intuition, or your gut feelings. But honestly, when you trust it, make sure you trust it and know in your heart, because your heart is the all-knowing you, and it's connected to all of the other aspects of you in this existence and all of the other existences that are happening like concurrently attached to you, if that makes sense. Yeah. So trust the inner voice or that inner knowing or that little niggle, whether it's a yes or a no, like really listen to it and tap into why. Yeah. And everyone has access to it, but a lot of people just don't listen. But that can help you making big decisions. Tapping into,
as you talked earlier about cards, and
yes,
we always pull a card when we come.
Yeah, do it.
Session. No, we pulled it already this morning.
Did you? Okay.
And we got this one, which is go for it.
Yeah,
which I think is so you, like literally.
Yeah, you're going.
No stopping you.
Yeah,
you know, you're going for it. You're just trusting. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Loved.
Yeah, and I feel like what you're just sharing then is like such a pivotal key. And I think people go, but how do I know what the voice is? And I think that's where like what you're doing, Blake, is so important, because, you know, everything is changing so much. And to discern the quiet amongst the chaos, like what you're offering, like either in person or online.
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear you doing that. Yeah, people like can get in touch and you know have some guidance with how to tap into that inner voice. And
absolutely. And from anywhere in the world, like it works online, it works on the phone. I don't need to be with someone. Like I just did it with you guys.
Yes,
But also, the only thing I don't do online is I'll say is QHHT, because that is against Dolores's wishes. I don't do that online. But I get that, because that's a really long session. It's really, you know, intense, and I like to be with people. And same, like I do online as an offering, but I do prefer face to face. Next time we talk, I'll talk, definitely my method will be out there then, and we can share that. But I'll be traveling around with that method to teach it and offer it. And I'll definitely come to there. I'll definitely come to the Gold Coast and do it there.
Sign us up.
Well, I'll also have to have tips of where to do it. I'll talk to you about it once I launch it properly.
Yeah,
but I've been shown I'll be traveling around Australia at first to offer this new, we'll call it a method. I don't know what I want to call it yet.
Modality.
And then I'll eventually travel, you know, like New Zealand and the world. But I'll travel to teach it to other people so they can do it for themselves. Because once you've done it, you'll know how to do it.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, that's leaving us with a nice little carrot there, Blake. Thank you for that. That's exciting. Thank you so much for
Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you. I'm so warm and happy.
So are we.
Beautiful. I love you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our Girl Awakening podcast. We are also on YouTube as Girl Awakening. We'd love to see you there with comments on how our guests resonated with you or your own awakening. Please share the love with a like and subscribe while you're there. A blissful thank you to Ksenia Luki, the amazing artist behind our theme song. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.